All right, Rory, we are back. Our episodes where we have friends, family, guests in the building. Mm-hmm. Today we are joined by somebody who is probably long overdue conversation.
Yeah,
here today. Somebody who, in my perspective, is a legend in radio. He's a huge wrestling personality. I think I'm a wrestling personality too, if you ask me some stuff. So
I don't think to the degree of him.
Well, not to the degree of this guy, but classic, legendary New York radio personality, radio DJ, Peeje Rosenberg.
Claps everywhere. Live studio audience.
Thank you.
Yes.
Rory Mall. Thanks, guys.
Pistol Pete. I'm gonna call you Pistol Pete.
I've got it. It's been a minute, but I'll take it. You know,
it's been a minute since somebody called you.
When did they stop?
Yeah, what year did they stop calling you Pistol Pete?
It comes up periodically. You know what I'm saying?
Young Jeezy to Jeezy. You just had to drop the pistol.
At a certain point, I had to clean up. It was like, hey guys, I gotta move on.
I don't do those things anymore.
I'm at ESPN now.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. We gotta drop that. We gotta drop that. How you feeling though, man? It's good to see you.
I feel great, man. I feel great. Well, we've been talking for a minute about doing this.
Yeah, Rory told me you was coming on, and he was like, "Yo, Pete's coming on. I don't know if you like." Rory thought that me and you had a thing, and I was just like, "Yo, I don't have no issue."
It wasn't.
I think Maul's one of the very few people in hip hop media I've never had any problems.
Out of all the people, I could have yelled out the window, and somebody would have said, "Yeah, we have an issue."
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But I don't think Maul ever. I don't think
never.
See, because sometimes my memory is bad with podcasting for 10 years. Sometimes I forget about the little tiffs that happened 5 years ago that some people hold on to and others are like, I don't even remember.
Did we have one that you remember?
It had something to do when you gave Syph my number and his number for Syph to apologize. And we were like, we cool. It was some back and forth on one. We didn't actually care.
That was Syph and Maul, and it was also nothing.
It was nothing.
Nothing at all.
It was absolutely nothing.
No, I'm proud to have you guys be one show I've never had any personal problems with whatsoever.
Thank you.
Now listen, I'll tell you the truth though. Maul has said some things. Clips have hit my timeline
about
before.
you.
No.
Oh, okay.
His takes. That the aggressive part of me at times wants to retweet it and say something like flagrant.
Why don't you though?
Because
somebody like you
to have this nice relationship.
but for somebody like you, I respect it though.
Oh well,
because it's never coming from a malicious.
No, it would have just been rap stuff, just related to Drake.
That's it. But I like having that. Though.
I know you do.
People like you. Let's do it. I love that type of shit.
I appreciate that. So I'll start doing it more from now on.
I appreciate that.
I think
man.
we had one tiff because of Drake and Kendrick. That just separated all of us.
Oh yeah, we did. You and I had a fight.
It was the night that I guess Not Like Us came out.
It was the night Not Like Us came out.
I was celebrating.
It was a dark and gloomy night.
It was.
By the way, you want to set this part of the conversation out? This was a bad night. That was a bad night. Yo,
ironically, that's what I said in the tweet.
Yo, isn't that crazy though? That night, I literally know everything that happened in that night for me from like 7 p.m. on. I know where I had dinner. I remember the moment I got it. I remember my initial impression. I remember you and I getting in the argument. Mm-hmm. Although after the argument, you did acknowledge you were drunk when we had this conversation.
It was my birthday.
Right. You were drunk and out of the country.
Yeah.
I was in Mexico. It was my birthday. I had not looked. Of course, I listened to every record that came out, but I was not looking at the timeline's reactions to anything. I opened my phone as we were leaving the bar, and the only thing I saw was Peeje Rosenberg says, what is it? The colonizer line.
Yeah, I quoted the line. I said, you're a blank. You're not a blank. You're a colonizer. You're not a colleague. You're a colonizer.
And then I retweeted it and said, Pete, I think we should sit this line out.
Okay.
And then, hear me out.
Then Peeje texted my phone. Which fight was on that night? I thought Pete was fighting.
So can I explain why? So this asshole is drinking, having a party, having a good time, sees one thing and reposts it.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about the fact that, as you remember very well, the internet was so live at that point in time.
Oh, those 3-4 days.
If you weighed in, if you wanted to see a tweet of yours get 3,000 retweets for the first time in your life,
it was
you
that
could
night.
just quote something and get it. So his little line, when I went and checked my @replies, it's 900 people telling him like, yeah, Rory, tell him to sit the fuck down. I'm like, my man, why are you? It was just a quote. No one had pointed out that I couldn't quote it. Why did I need you? Why did I need you? And so anyways, it was nothing, but it was fun.
And even because you know where I was at in Mexico, if you're not in that house, you don't have service. And we were out the whole time.
Right.
So like when I caught like a bar, I opened Twitter and it was the only thing I saw. And I was like, well, that's funny if Peter, I said that.
Yeah.
And I just retweeted it as a joke, not realizing like
And then go back to
the
no Wi-Fi.
tension- Yes.
Yeah.
Till I got back to Mexico City Airport.
Yeah.
And then he sees me just like, hey,
Fighting for your life.
you got
Right?
problems? What the hell's going on?
Pete fighting for his life in his mentions.
I was like, don't put me near, because that was the Vlad night too.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
don't put me
I
near.
caught that later too, the Vlad.
Yeah, don't put me over there.
Yeah, it's not that. That's not what this was.
No,
Yeah,
I was just quote. I literally just thought it was a good line.
Yeah.
And even though this wasn't the case, the next one up, you and Syke talked about it. And you both were like, oh, he was just trying to position himself to be one of the good whites and all that.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And
I did.
We
Yeah, I
had
did.
already talked about it, and obviously that was not, it was really just a fucking joke. I thought it was funny.
Well, no,
But I was like, that's fine. I deserve it.
Yeah,
Go ahead
that's-
on one up.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I appreciate you letting me have that one.
Yeah.
You know, but Rory's kind of like, in some ways, Rory is
A
sort of like
a bad white.
a bad way. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was saying. No, you're sort of like like a youngin' for me. Like Rory is sort of, I've known him since he was first on the come up, and I've watched his whole thing, and you know what I'm saying? Like I was on the radio when you were practically a kid.
Yeah.
When you were like a
definitely.
teenager, I was on the box.
You got on when I was probably 17.
Something like that. So yeah, no, I had to give him a little pow pow. You know what I mean? But no, it was hilarious. But that was an interesting time. And
But for that whole moment though, because you're on the radio side and we're on the podcasting side, it's similar, but it's still a lot that's different in those two worlds. What was that moment though, like on the radio side for DJs and personalities and programming directors, like that whole moment last year with Kendrick Drake, like what were those buildings like on the radio side?
I can only speak to out my weird most specific situation in the world of Hot 97. For us, it was just great because we had content every day.
Yeah.
Like when you do a morning show every day, I'd say we talk around, out of our 4-hour show, we probably talk like 90 minutes, 2 hours a day, right? Every day.
Yeah.
So like when you just have something to do, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it relates to music. And the thing that we have that most podcasts don't have is we could play the music.
Right.
So we could talk about it, run it back, play it, come back, do.
That's the superpower that y'all
That
have.
is the superpower of radio. Unfortunately, when you post it, like you can't have it anymore. But for those in the car, it makes for a really good listen. So that part, it was dope. There was some separation in terms of like DJs who were like lining up one way or another. You know, some of the younger DJs, you know, were like, who like really grew up and Drake is like their absolute GOAT. You know, as we would joke, you know, like my boy E Styles, like the cats who were like uptown at hookah bars, like they didn't want to hear no Kendrick riffraff.
Right.
Yeah.
Give us more Drake.
riffraff.
But like
Dominicans love Drake.
that is a fact.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm sure there are Dominicans that love Kendrick, but uptown, I will say Drake is extremely
I'll sit
popular.
this one out.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you should just
just shut your
Which,
mouth.
by the way, I'm mad. I just got my new phone that didn't save my iCloud May 22nd, 2024. This happened on May 4th, 2024. I wanted to read off the aggressive text messages that Rosenberg sent me.
He has
want me to
them.
find it?
Oh, yeah, find it. Yeah.
I'm sure I have.
He's like, well, listen, I got it. I got
gonna
the
take that
file.
long.
I kept the file.
I think at one point I was asking, are you being serious right now?
Yeah,
Because
he
I
was like-
didn't know if the aggression was a joke.
I think when you said you were, I think that's when, once you asked that, I think is when I backed off. I was like, oh, he's really not, he's not fighting with me.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
So, but to answer your question, Maul, like, I don't really know. Like, I don't, it didn't affect from a programming standpoint. I didn't hear any sort of real anything about it.
but the
like,
energy was very different
in terms of,
in the office and in the studio.
I'm not in the office. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the morning and I'm done. I've officially become that guy. Like,
Okay.
when I first started in radio,
Yeah.
I was doing overnights in DC. The morning show host was Donnie Simpson.
Yeah.
The legend.
The legendary Dr.
When
Simpson.
Donnie would walk out of the building at 10:01 a.m. to play his first round of golf of the day,
Yeah.
he didn't know a fucking thing that happened.
Happened after
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's now me.
Okay.
Like, I've
All right.
graduated
Yeah.
from.
You've made it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I'm
Y'all
out.
don't know me anymore. Like, that's it. I'm officially the morning show guy who's checked out. So I don't know like what level of politics was going on or how much it affected people. You know, we as a station, we've been super supportive of both those artists. Obviously, Drake has his own. He's had his own issues with Flex. He's had his own issues with me. He's had his own issues with Ebro. Like he's had different things at different times.
Yeah.
But I think he would also acknowledge an immense amount of support. Like he has been a core artist at Hot 97 now since the very beginning, and it's never changed. Like even through this whole thing, he had records playing through it, records playing immediately after it. I'm sure he didn't love everything that was being said, but like it also didn't slow him down at the radio station.
Right.
It picked Kendrick up. Kendrick had the amount of GNX we played surprised even me.
Yeah.
I was like, we are really playing every song off of GNX.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of crazy. It's early. That song is really aggressive.
That's aggressive, yeah.
It's funny, we were talking with Graf last week about New York radio specifically and trying to have more of a evolved conversation than the typical New York radio doesn't support New York artists thing.
If at no point it came up that I give him tickets to Summer Jam every year, the conversation wasn't thorough.
He didn't bring that up though.
He was suggesting though, with this post year, kind of to the conversation we're having, he has noticed that, you know, between like the Griselda movements, Fetty, Clipse now coming out, that bars are being a bit more respected on radio.
For sure.
And I can't really answer that because truthfully, I don't like sit and listen to the radio like that. So
Thanks.
I didn't know. Listen,
I'm just kidding.
I'm on my way to daycare listening to Baby Shark at the time you're on.
Well,
when you're on,
we just need to stay up long enough for your daughter to age into can rock with some Hot 97. We're away. I don't know if I'm gonna make it that long though, so we'll see.
You will. Absolutely. What's tomorrow now? 4? 3?
No,
she's 2.
I'm about to say, you just jumped way ahead.
Yes.
Holy shit. I thought tomorrow was at least
By the
3.
way, that's so great. It so rarely goes that direction.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice that she's younger than someone thinks for once?
Exactly. Yeah. I
Damn, I thought wow.
last 2 birthday parties right in here.
So I
Utilize the space.
by the way, I don't know if I'll make it, but continue. I'm sorry.
So when Graf was saying that, I couldn't really speak to it. Like, is the Clipse album playing on the radio right now? I didn't know GNX was playing to the degree it was. Do you feel like the actual lyrics are back on the radio post this battle?
I do think there's something that changed. There's clearly like an interest in lyrics that has been affected by that battle. Like I think the excitement about Clipse it's the perfect storm. I mean, yes, of course, God bless the rollout. It was an incredible rollout. But beyond that, you have Pusha being tangentially connected to the entire Drake Kendrick thing, of course.
Fair, yeah.
But I really think a big part of it is, the bar was raised, and now there are a million people who look even nerdier than Peter Rosenberg and Rory talking about a breakdown of lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, that has become such a thing. And I do think that's extended to everywhere. Yeah, I do.
I just didn't know if that made it to the radio. Like, I could see the Clipse playing there, and this isn't a slight to Clipse or Amazing Lyricists. I think Pharrell would be the factor there that production is proven on radio already. Whereas like No Drums, Griselda stuff may not play the same way on Hot 97 the way a fully produced Pharrell album will.
For sure. I mean, I think from a production standpoint, yes. I think also from a familiarity standpoint, like that is important.
That sound, even if it's a new Pharrell beat, it's still recognized in your ear.
Even the sound of Push's voice.
Fair, yeah.
Like these are things that are part of me. I think people don't appreciate that sometimes, like when everyone like hates radio. And I'm not saying, by the way, I fully understand hatred of radio in different ways, but I do think people take some things for granted. Like, why can't you just play an unknown artist with a song with no hook? That's like, it's like, because that's just not what an audience would ever gravitate towards.
Yeah, right. It's just advertising business.
It's not music business. Like, we are meant to retain people. Like when I work at ESPN, guys, I would love to show up and talk about national sports topic. Like it's almost a joke at the radio station how much I check out sometimes on like local baseball topics. But guess what? That's what we have to talk about daily, because bread and butter, the people in New York who want to turn on 880 AM and hear what sports talk is, they don't want to hear me waxing about what the Commanders did last week. They want to hear about the Yankees. It's playing the hits, bro. And it's always been radio. This made up thing of like back in the day, there's always been mix show at night, or not always, but since we were kids, mix show at night. During the day, you're hearing the hits. That's just, that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to say to Graf. Like, has it been that different? Maybe you just liked more of the popular music back then than you do now.
I think that is exactly
because, like, I've explained that. Like, I loved Nelly. All the older kids I hung around that were like, I'm saying older, like 20 years older, hated Nelly. Like, ugh, that's disgusting. Now people would say Nelly's a lyricist.
And it's classic.
Like, yeah. So, I mean, that's always been that way. Now I'm the guy that's 20 years older than everyone else going like, I'm cool with what y'all playing over there.
Exactly.
Like, now, it's the same thing though.
Yeah, no, I think that there is something that changed in the last several years where the music that's popular and they play during the day is like the sing-songy nothingness stuff, I think really affects hip hop heads in this like, nah, this is some bullshit. Things have changed. Like in a way that's visceral. It's sort of the way it was around Ringtone. Like Ringtone, people were viscerally angry about the records that were playing. 06, 07. It was like, this is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which again, I get because at that time, that was the only place they could hear music for the most part was radio, or you bought the CD or a place you were going and played it. My generation now isn't mad at the radio because I can just plug my phone in.
Yeah, why does it matter?
I'm not angry at anybody. I can play what I want to play.
Well, and for me, selfishly, who, like I said, like my focus is mornings. Like I'm not.
Yeah, which is driving your kids to school time. Like
we're talking.
Yeah,
I don't care what we play.
Yeah,
I'm still glad to this day that Ebro hasn't realized how he probably wouldn't want to do it because he thinks it would make us look bad. If he ever said, "Let's play a game," Rosenberg, tell us the name and artist of the song we're playing right now. Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of that.
No, I'm terrible with titles, the song titles, and I'm terrible.
But like 10 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, certainly, I would have known all of the artists off top.
Yeah. Well, why do you think that's changed?
I think finally, and I really never wanted this to happen, I did personally change enough. Like, I'm not going to blame the music like everybody tends to do. I have outgrown the mainstream, the most mainstream. And let me rephrase that too. When I say mainstream, I mean like the mainstream hits that come and go. Because really, if we're honest, the biggest hits are still the biggest artists.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Cardi. I know them, right? But when it comes to all the stuff in between, you know, like eventually I knew Cash Cobain, but like that takes time.
Right.
And they have to last a little longer for me.
Yeah.
If it's just one
summer,
quick one, I don't remember.
And has the same sound as a bunch of other records from a bunch of other artists that you're not even sure.
And I'm not trying, and I'm not even dissing. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, it just became not for me.
And it's also, you have to think of the entire switch in the music industry where, yes, some of the mainstream stuff when I was in high school, they were trying to make dumbed down, catchy records. Now they're trying to make 15 seconds that goes towards an app to be catchy.
Right.
So it's even twofold of how shitty mainstream music can be.
That's so wild.
Because now, listen, even like Laffy Taffy has like three verses on that shit. Like it's a song. And people that were older than me hated that song. But it was a song. It just had to be catchy. Now, you think I'm supposed to like something that's only cool for 10 seconds that's supposed to be for kids on TikTok?
Right.
I'm not a hater. I'm just like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
No, Laffy Taffy, think about Laffy Taffy. That would have really, that whole thing could have rang off just from the rant. That would have been enough.
Yeah.
Done. They made a whole song. They wouldn't even had to. They could have wrapped it up after 45 seconds. Yeah. We all would have been better off for it.
No, Nuck If You Buck, just the squeaks.
That's it.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Like the shit that makes people run to the dance floor, I think now is the version of what TikTok is. Like that's blended together. If you were just at a high school party, at a club, at a bar, you'd hear that first note and go to the dance floor. That's all just now on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Why don't we talk about somebody I was thinking about yesterday, and I forgot that he was locked up, but I was thinking about like, yo, he don't got a record out. I'm like, oh shit, he's locked up. Fivio. We don't talk about Fivio. He's interesting to me for a lot of reasons, but he's one of the younger artists, right? Drill rapper, if you will. He has records with a record with Drake, a record with Kanye and Alicia Keys, and he's somebody we don't talk about.
I know.
Like I didn't even know he was locked up. Like I knew, but I kind of forgot. Just in thinking like songs of the summer, you know, the energy. I'm like, damn, where's Fivio? How he put it? I'm like, oh shit, I forgot he's locked up right now. But he's an artist that was really hot. Like had records with some of the biggest artists in the world, and now he's an artist that we don't even seem to even bring up in discussion anymore. Why does that happen? Because I don't know many people that can say I have a record with Drake, I have a record with Kanye West and Alicia Keys, and nobody talks about that artist.
Well, Fivio is complicated for a variety of reasons. Because he did, and by the way, like this is an awkward one because I personally really like Fivio. But he did the whole Trump grift.
See,
and then
I don't
still
even
went to
remember.
jail, which is because I assume the whole Trump grift was to not go to jail.
Oh wait, he was in the park in the Bronx, or that was somebody else.
No, that was Chef G and
Yeah, no, he didn't do that.
Yeah.
He did a record.
yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I missed that one.
He did a whole.
He did a
By the
Trump
way,
record?
you want to know the craziest shit? The Fivio Trump record's not bad.
I mean, Fivio makes good music.
It's not bad, but it's a straight up Trump is my president anthem.
Okay.
He went all the way.
Okay.
All right.
I assumed it was because he was trying to work an angle of some sort.
Yeah.
A pardon, get a pardon or something.
Yeah, and then he ended up getting locked up, and I didn't even really know what happened.
I don't even know what he's locked up for.
I don't either.
But Fivio is interesting also because when he came out, he was older, a little bit older.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was.
He's my age.
Yeah, like he was, but he got on a little bit later.
Yeah.
After Pop Smoke passed.
Yeah.
But he really did have good records
He can
and
rap.
has charisma. Like he can rap, he's got charisma.
Yeah.
He has his age actually was an advantage. He carried himself like someone who knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
mean,
don't know. He did Summer Jam. Like he got support. Like New York definitely was like, hey, we and then I can't quite put a finger on what happened there.
That is so
he
hard to
had
me.
arguably one of the best features on Donda. I think he caught the Kanye stimulus at the wrong time. Like the last,
He got the last moment of
because
it.
Donda, there was still people like, but Kanye was still Kanye when Donda came out. And he, in my opinion, I mean, obviously the 3 Stacks verse didn't actually make the real album. You could say Fivio had one of the best verses, which is a crazy sentence to say. It's either Fivio or Jay Electronica who had the best verses on that album.
Yeah.
He went crazy on that. And I think he rode the Kanye wave because then they got the Alicia Keys record.
Yep.
And it was just like, all right, you're putting all your eggs in the Kanye basket. And he was all over Donda too that didn't come out. Like, it felt like he dedicated his time to Kanye at a time he shouldn't have done that.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
That's interesting.
you should have just stayed in New York and kept riding the New York wave that you had. Because everyone loved Fivio.
Because the feature on the album was so good.
He went
that
crazy.
was the thing I played off of the album the most. And I love Jail too. But then Kanye went even, because he was already out of his gourd, but he clearly went levels beyond after Donda. And he was like, that was kind of where he had staked his
and
flag and is like, this is not helpful. It's not doing what it should have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows in people's personal lives too, because like obviously, again, I don't know that he went to jail, but clearly something was happening behind the scenes.
So Fivio is in jail due to pleading guilty to a terroristic threats charge stemming from an incident that occurred on New Year's Day in Edgewater, New Jersey. The incident involved a dispute over parking. A woman claimed she asked the rapper to help jumpstart her car. Fivio allegedly pulled a gun on her and threatened her, stating, "If I see you parked in front of this building again, there's going to be a fucking problem."
Wait,
That is one of those.
the car, or
That is one of those stories where the description does not feel complete. Like there is more to who that person was.
There's not a single missing piece here. That's exactly how it went.
It was one of those times where someone goes, "Hey, can you jump my car?" And you pull a gun out and say, "I never want to see her again."
Yeah. No, you're in the middle of trying to jump the car.
So his charges include unlawful possession of a weapon and aggravated assault in addition to terroristic threats. As part of a plea deal, he pleaded guilty to the terroristic threats charge. The other charges are expected to be dropped. He has been incarcerated since January and awaits sentencing scheduled for August 2nd, 2025.
Wait, so he's in jail and still hasn't been sentenced?
No, yeah, that's why he's sitting in jail.
Yo, bro.
If Kevin Gates was there, none of this would happen.
His attorney hopes for a probationary sentence, potentially allowing early release considering the time served. Yeah, I just thought that was weird. An artist that, had all of the momentum, all of the steam in the city at one time, records with some of the biggest artists in the world, and then now he's been arrested since the beginning of the year, and we don't even talk about him. I just thought that was weird.
No, it is. I agree. I think the Fivio story is a bit weird.
Yeah,
I can't quite put a finger on that. But I also wouldn't write it off yet either. Yeah. Sometimes that back from jail shit, you know what I mean? That can be the set off you need.
Yeah. Just a little time to sit down and look at things and
go, you know what's
avoid death.
That's if you take that story at face value, like something just went left with an actual stranger. Yeah, that is the worst. That is such a there are stupid situations, but that sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's the top of the list.
That's top of the list.
I mean, if he took a plea too, maybe his lawyer's telling him like, come sentencing, you'll get time served. Yeah, like, just sit till August, and maybe it'll be over.
Yeah, but that's tough. Telling somebody to just sit down in jail till August. It's January. An artist like him who has all this momentum.
Don't tell me to do the weekend in jail. So,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just.
I'm not trying to downplay.
Right. Yeah. No. I get
8 months in prison.
Totally get it.
I mean, shit. Fetty is one of those too that I am very confident that when he gets out, who's to say Fetty can't have another run? Tell me the music hasn't changed that much that Fetty couldn't adapt to it.
That is an interesting one because Fetty's records sound like a million years ago. Like, I'm not saying he couldn't do it.
10 years ago? That was summer 2015,
When you hear
right?
that shit right now, it feels like you are in a time warp.
Yeah.
It's
so much has happened.
It's because he owned that,
so much
sound so much, but his melodic flow is still the same now.
I get it, but like even long before he went away, he already wasn't doing anything. I'm not trying to, I don't want to come to a situation I'm disrespecting, but it had been cold for a long time.
That was a lot of politics too with, which he spoke about briefly of just that run of like, when you have fucking 10 records on Billboard and all right, can we slow down for a second to spread these out and work my actual records and album? We had 15 hits from them, and then they were like, here's the album. Like, no, we've heard it.
Everything.
I have it all.
Yeah.
And that's just a bad strategy.
But some records just don't. It is weird. The line of really good song at a time and then one that lasts the test of time for me is fascinating. To bring up Maul's favorite person in the world. Best I Ever Had, to me, sounds like when you hear it, you're like, this feels like a throwback, an intentional, fun, goofy throwback, not like you really want to rock out and hear Best I Ever Had.
Right.
You could hear Find Your Love or Started from the Bottom a minute later, and those songs sound like, nah, play it right now.
Right.
It's just funny to me.
I think Best I Ever Had has gone past that. I think Find Your Love speaks specifically to the 808s and Heartbreak style. That sounds like a dated hit to me. Not in a bad way, but it represents that time. That would bring me to 09. Best I Ever Had and Started from the Bottom, I feel like those could play.
Started from the Bottom, I think is forever.
Anytime.
Yeah. Nah, Best I Ever Had. There's something about the drums. There's something about the mix of it. There's just something about that song to me that sounds like
it's a time. It's a
demo
time
from the moment. It's not like,
but again, and we've had this Drake conversation plenty of times, and this is our age gap there. I was a freshman in college when Best I Ever Had came out. So yes, the drums are not mixed. It's Boy Wonder, finding a boom bap shit. That still resonates with me. I look past the faults of what the mixing would be because it's it's timeless because I was there. That's the difference, I think, with Best I Ever Had between our age gap, which I think plenty of people have with records.
It doesn't make you go like to, wow, that's like freshman year of college. It feels like it should stay there.
No. I like that time. Like, you don't have the shit that you
know what else sounds like?
Growing up or like in college or a specific time that just resonates with you.
For sure.
Like, but of course there's Can't Tell Me Nothings. Like those are just for the rest of your life. That's just
correct.
But you can still have a timeless record that is from a moment in time that you liked.
But Drake, it's weird. Drake to me has a lot of timeless records, but there are a handful of them from the beginning. Successful.
Yeah.
Best I Ever Had. I'm Going In.
Yeah.
They all sound like, for whatever reason,
it's
they
the
set it off, but
sonically.
stay there.
Yeah,
the sonic just changed.
I get it. But I totally understand.
And then after that, he developed a bit, and everything kind of lasts to me.
Yeah.
But it's not, again, it's not a Drake thing. Maybe it's a blog era thing. That I have, my ear is so trained to the blog era that absolute shitty mixes from that time, because it's a part of my life, I ignore. Like, put in Crit's first mixtape. They mastered that negatively. Like, my radio does not even go that high of how much that should play, but it still is timeless to me.
Right.
But it was a shitty time. People were just...
This Big Crit.
Yeah.
Okay.
People were literally recording and putting shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was how bad... Shit, Cushion OJ doesn't sound polished if you go back to it. Of course, they've remastered it and put it on DSPs, but go listen to one you have downloaded on your computer. It's going to sound like Best I Ever Had.
Yeah.
You know, I've probably never listened to Cushion OJ.
You've never listened to it?
Probably not.
How?
Probably not.
Go listen. All right, listen to OD, the one that you downloaded.
That doesn't sound like ass.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But it's still incredible music. Like, shit, even some of Section 80. Our ears got crazy because technology got so good. It's so easy to mix and master a record now.
But I'm not even, with Best I Ever Had, I'm not even just talking about the mix. There's just something about it that sounds the music.
Like... Yeah, okay.
It's just a little dated. I get that.
Sloppy boom bap record. I see.
But it's just more, maybe it's just about Drake's development. Like, maybe it's the fact that he became so big that like that was like just a different version.
Everything changed about his voice, the way he raps, his ad libs, the music. Literally, if you listen to his first mixtapes or So Far Gone and go to what he just put out last year, it sounds like a completely different person.
Yeah, this is a college dropout to Donda. Like, doesn't even sound like the same vocal tone.
Yeah,
like they're different people.
Bro, if I have to have another argument with someone saying that Donda and even Donda 2 I've had thrown at me, are classic albums, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
I'm not here to say that. I enjoyed Donda, don't get me wrong.
It has joints.
A classic, no.
No, you have to. Here's the fact. When you decide to put out your album with 22 fucking songs,
you're right.
No, the bad songs are negative on your album.
Absolutely.
You're not allowed to put out 22 songs, 12 of them are bangers, and say you have a classic.
Yeah, no.
You could have if you subtracted 10.
If you took 7 of those off.
But you didn't.
Right.
So like that annoys the shit out of me. Being bootleg Kev, I've argued about this many times because he fucking loves Donda. And I don't know if he calls it classic, but like when I say basically Kanye's completely fallen off and turned to shit, he and other people will come to me with Donda. And I'm like, when you're comparing that to the rest of his catalog, Donda's a brick. I know it has a few great songs on it.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy who previously, I would have argued, had the highest percentage of great songs on albums of maybe anyone ever.
One of the greatest discographies ever.
What?
Yeah.
1 through
if not the greatest,
6 is even through Life of Pablo, which that's when he started to slip.
He started experimenting.
You guys know my theory. You guys know my theory on this?
No.
I have a really important theory on Kanye. The moment
At Life of Pablo?
About Life of Pablo.
He would suggest your people would. You're further proving his point.
When my uncle and I were together at my synagogue discussing whether or not we should make this a hit or not, I was like, I was like,
that's why Donda's not a classic. If you want to get down to it,
I was like, Uncle Shlomo, I think we should let this black artist still succeed. And he said, no, I've had enough. I said, no, I like him. No, I would say this is the moment in Life of Pablo. I mean, we remember the whole rollout was a fucking mess. The album kept changing, but no, here's, if you want to pinpoint the beginning of when Kanye's losing his shit, it is the line, and she just bleached her asshole.
Okay.
That song is an iconic, forever piece of glorious music.
Yeah.
And in that bar, when you decided to start the song with, I just fucked a model, she just bleached her asshole. Yeah. And you thought that was a good decision to do with a song that sounds that he beautiful lost song. It. Yeah, you've now song. Lost. Honestly, I'm joking, but I'm not. You've now lost your edge of like what makes a song able to live forever. Yeah. Because now every grown up, and we're both gonna have to deal with this soon as our babies get older. Yeah. Now I can't play that in the car. Right. Now it's like a immediate, you can't even explain to someone. I don't want my mom to hear it. I don't want my daughter to hear it. I don't want my cousin to hear it. You don't want anyone to hear that line. What are you doing?
Please find this footage, listeners. I think it was on the old part. It might have been on this one. I had this same thing. I was riding with my mom in the car, and the first record, Ultralight Beams, beautiful. My mother's Catholic. Don't tell anyone. Okay. Fuck yeah, that was funny to me. Okay. We were riding and she loved that first record, even like the Chance one. And not to say my mom would be the gauge of anything Kanye related, but gets to the second record, she's on board all the way. And then when it gets to that fucking part, my mom was like, why would someone do that? I said, bleach their asshole? She said, no, why would you say that?
Yo, man.
No, not do it.
No. She was like,
we understand why someone would do it. Why would you say they did it, though? Why would you say they did it?
Because to get my mom even into certain hip-hop is a stretch, no pun intended. And again, not that it matters.
But you want to play her the hits.
Rappers shouldn't even be trying to do shit for my mom, but it was we were just in the car, and she was vibing. I was like, wow, all right. Yeah. 1 for 1 with Ultralight Beams. Why would someone say that? Yeah. Like, it ruined the whole song.
Well, the start of that album, those 2 records, is such a beautiful and incredible start to the album. And right when that line gets hit, I remember going like, No one was around to say, hey, bro.
We should take that out.
And like, obviously, Metro's young. You know, who's going to be the person who says.
And not only that, not only is Metro young, Pete, but there's a thing, you're in the studio with Kanye. You're kind of just like, I feel like he knows way more than I ever will. I can be a great producer. This is still Kanye West. So Metro's probably like, he know more than me. He got way more hits than I do. I'm not, even though it probably was like why would he say that? He's not going to say that to Kanye, though. And no one else around him is going to, I mean, respectfully to 88 Keys or whoever else is around, no one's giving him that bit of advice. Yeah. And it was a small thing, but then like, as the album went on,
Life of Pablo then starts to fall apart at points. Then it picks back up.
It's the middle. It's the 3 records in the middle. The one that Tyler rapped on the Freestyle 4 shit. It's like those 3 records where it gets odd, and then it comes right back to Chris Brown, and you're like, all right, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Chris Brown, you get to the
Rihanna
Friend shit.
Yeah, Rihanna's in the first half. Yeah,
but that's the beginning of him starting to slip.
But
and
those lines were there. He always just packaged it around dope shit. Like somebody should have tapped Kanye before when he said, "Dripping swag sauce, you dripping swagoo." Somebody should have been like, "Yo,
that was nasty."
Like, come on.
No, it's a nasty bar.
He's always had weird, cheesy lines his whole career, but they were always around amazing shit. So it's like, all right, whatever.
But there's a certain line that you cross, and when you do it, it now just sounds like. I mean, listen, we're all hip hop fans.
Yeah.
For us to collectively think that something's crass,
yes.
You realize how crass it has to be?
Yeah.
Like not many, come on, guys. I've said this line that I just said to you guys, you can imagine, to many other people in my life. Yeah. Not one of them has pushed back and been like, nah, that's a bar. Not one person has pushed back and said that.
Yeah, nobody's fighting for that bar.
No, like
nobody's
we're pretty chill. Hip hop fans, we're pretty chill.
Yeah,
like we don't get overly sensitive.
Yeah, we're not overly sensitive about a lot of things, but that one we kind of all look at each other like.
With the bleach on her asshole, he kept his t-shirt on because he wanted to be a clothing designer, and the bleach on his shirt.
He wanted a tie-dye shirt.
You had to, and it had to be authentic, so it had to be from, her throwing her ass back. That's how you get the design with the bleach.
I get it. I totally understand it.
Nah, you get it. We've been there. We've all been there.
And also, a chick just getting her asshole bleached and then fucking is also hilarious to me.
No, I mean,
like, she's
clean.
Let it dry.
She's a clean queen. Yeah. She's a clean queen.
But I still believe that if Fetty Wap hopped on a Cardi beat tomorrow, it would go crazy.
The one person
that's how we started with this.
I'm looking for getting their career back on track. The one artist is Max B. I think now we're in such a heavy, before he went away, we're in a more heavily melodic rap time right now. And I think he's somebody that obviously created a lot of melodies that people still probably lend their talents to and use and sample. He's one of the artists that I feel like once he comes back and he starts to get his foot, underneath him and understand the landscape, I think that he has.
But the biggest question is going to be, who is he moving with, and who is help guiding the thing?
All right, I can't.
Honestly, I can see somebody like Drake taking Max B under his wing and like kind of like helping him in the studio.
Well, first of all, Drake is going to do that. He did it with Gucci. He did it.
If Drake,
but I don't think that's the move for Max. I think he should avoid everyone that is trying to get around, no pun intended, the wave and focus on his personality and what he's doing. Like anytime, even with Bobby when he came out of jail, and yeah, of course, everyone wanted to be around him, around the Migos, this and that. That's great. But everyone's just using the moment of he's home to try to put a record out. Like,
no.
Like, what do you want to do?
I feel like, again, because somebody that raps and obviously melodies is a big part of their career with Drake, I think somebody like Max B in the studio with Drake and whatever producers that they have around them, I think that Max B picks up right where he left off.
Well, yeah. I think Drake is actually potentially a good call for him, and it would serve both of them well in different ways, right? It gets Drake working with someone with a lot of credibility who's cool and people fuck with. We don't want to see, we know what we don't want to see is Max going to fuck with Kanye. We just had that conversation. And we know Kanye has reached out, but like there's been something there. That's not, you could get caught up, be like, oh, he wants to fly me out. But like, don't fall for the jet. Don't fall for the whole.
Don't fall for the jet.
I would want a free flight too, but it's not the move.
That's more what I was saying. Of everyone is going to reach out to him when he gets out, and we've seen it with artists that get out that hinders their career because they just start following every move that's happening out there because they've been locked up. They don't know no better, so it's like let me get with the people that have been dominating, and maybe that's not what you need.
No,
like,
you really need
maybe Bobby needed to go back and do exactly what Bobby not did before, but like. You had your own energy and your own wave. You trying to get everybody else.
But it's a difference, though.
Not going to be helpful
to me.
And I'm not comparing Bobby and Max because I think Max could start a podcast day, gets out and out of here.
Yeah, his personality.
That's a great point too.
I mean,
his personality.
Max, no matter what, has the personality.
Yeah,
like. But I mean, I don't know if he needs to just run and go with a major artist. I
it's
think
probably
Max
about finding the right manager.
Max should want to do.
Well, that's number one for sure. The right management circle for sure. The Complex Hip Hop Power Rankings, Hip Hop Media rankings came out last week, Pete, and we're top 10 and not 10 this year.
Top 10 and not 10?
Yeah, we're not number 10.
Not number 10.
Oh, good.
So we're number 9.
Yeah, we're not number we're not number 8 either.
Not 10 and not 8.
But you're also not 7.
Yeah. No, not 7. No.
And hey, surprise, we're not number 1.
Yeah.
I know you're shocked, but yeah, did you look at this list?
No.
Neither did I.
Really?
No, I did not. This is the first year I decided. This is the first year I decided to go ahead and spare my fragile ego and not look.
Yeah.
And then here I have my friends to bring it up for me right when I get right on the podcast.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't look at it either. To your point, I didn't look at the list. Peeje, I brought it up last week when it came out. I just saw where we was at, and that was we went through it Monday and kind of just saw who else was the top.
Well, 10. I'll say this. So I didn't look at it this year, like I said, on account of protecting my own. Because like two things. One, I don't deserve to be on it because I don't do the things in the places that one would really do to be on that list. Because like my opinions in New York City radio, as you could tell by the list, that's not, I imagine if I were to look at it, that's not what's weighted.
Shannon Sharp is on the list. You should be on the list.
All right, fine. You're right. I should be on the list. Well, that's going to be what my point is about the list though.
Yeah.
And listen, Complex is great at getting people to talk.
Yeah.
And I know this is now a point that's been
We all get riled up over lists.
Yes.
You know, lists like, yeah.
And I know I'm sure this has already been talked about ad nauseum. The thing that's annoying is the cats they put on aren't hip hop. Like that's the thing.
So Kai Cenat is number one.
Not hip hop.
Okay.
Great.
Why do you feel like Kai is not hip hop?
Because like, has Kai ever done, by the way, this isn't sounding I'm dissing him. I'm not at all.
I just went through our last episode.
Yeah, he's great. But like, has he, if you were to add up like 10 episodes of Kai Cenat, I wonder if he's talked as much hip hop as we did in the last hour. Talking about breaking down music.
Okay, gotcha.
Like there's a hit, like we're having a hip hop conversation.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when Syph and I do our little niche one-up every week. Not every week. Sometimes we just talk about Syph gallivanting the world with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like this week, we are talking about the albums that came out, what we like, what we don't. That is a hip hop conversation. Kai Cenat, Shannon Sharp. Did they put Aiden Ross on the list?
No.
Okay. So what's the difference? Real quick.
So I mean,
what's the difference?
Essentially, I'm not going to read their whole breakdown, but their criteria does sort of match the list more or less.
Okay. What's the criteria?
Yes. The biggest one that I think validated Kai being on there the most is this outlet where hip hop goes for rollouts and to break certain news and artists. And I can say with what Kai has done with his house and everything,
there's been some rollout there.
Like
some. I mean, like, Clipse didn't roll up to Kai's house.
No. But Nicki did a whole thing there. Like, Offset rappers go there often.
True.
Is it hip hop media to me? No, because they don't even really like talk about the music. They just have fun, which I think is incredible. I just don't know if that's hip hop media.
That's all.
But by their criteria, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Kai's incredible. Listen, what he's done has been.
We are huge fans of Kai.
I'm not going to go that far because I'm just, I'm not a liar. And I'm not saying you are.
No, we really fuck.
I love what Peeje is that. I'm not saying you are, but I'm not.
I don't tune into his. I'm not going to go home and be like, all right, well, you know what? Let me tap into the Kai stream. Yeah. But we have supported him for quite some time. I think him representing the new wave of media
the best we can do.
The best thing that we
completely agree.
Like,
Kai Cenat is the one. He doesn't get me mad at all.
Right.
Like I just wasn't going to say I'm a fan because that might imply like I'm tapping in.
Yeah.
But no, as a person, I'm a fan too. Like I find him to be like more than inoffensive. Seems like a good person.
Absolutely.
Who uses platform well, and it's impressive.
Yeah.
I just like doesn't strike me as hip hop. And when I've looked at those things previously, they'll just be things that are like, I mean, they're just things I don't understand, things that they label as hip hop that I'm like, just because this is a space where an artist occasionally shows up or literally like the host is black, that is what your standard was for them being hip hop.
Right.
They don't need to, we're not getting into what they're doing one way or the other. Like to me, it just ends up being lazy and trolly, but that's why we're talking about it. So.
But I mean, ironically, I would never want Aiden Ross to be on this list, but by some of their criteria, you could make a fucking case that
for sure.
Aiden Ross has said more hip hop shit, and I think that kid's a fucking douchebag. But
be careful.
Why?
Because, their fans are
Aiden Ross.
Yeah. Wild.
Okay, so I think Aiden Ross is a douchebag. But if we're going off this, then Aiden has had more hip hop where music has even been discussed than a lot of people on this platform.
He has some of the
I'm calling douchebag, but I'm also complimenting him and like, all right, well, if this is the criteria, you have had hip hop shit.
No, he has horrifyingly bad conversations about hip hop.
They're awful,
but they are conversations.
Yeah,
like so.
This is Aiden you're talking about.
Yes,
okay.
Like I've definitely seen the clips move around of him saying some dumb shit about this artist or that artist with no background, no real interest. I was thinking about that earlier, bro. It is so fucking crazy. The standard by which, you know, I felt like I was held to when I was emerging versus the lack of standard that anyone is held to anymore is so totally fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like when you think about the things that I like got in trouble for early in my career, the issues I had with people, like I can't believe he had the nerve to say that Starships sucks. Right. Now a proven fact in history.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was like, oh my God, like, is that offensive? I don't even think he should be saying things like that. This is a problem. Now you can literally move around
and say I bleached her asshole.
Correct. Right. but in podcast form with no doing anything
that's
positive.
The crazy thing Kanye said.
No contribution to anything. Say whatever you want that's nasty. Be hurtful, be hateful. And really people will still go stand right next to you.
Oh, absolutely.
People, you know, like you could have crazed right-wing podcasts who interview the worst people on earth. And then 2 seconds later, they got hip hop people sitting right next to them, blah, blah, blah. No problem. It's just, there's no standard whatsoever, which back to the point about Kai Cenat, which is why I like the fact that Kai Cenat, I don't see him stand next to really any bad shit.
His positivity, 99% of the time.
That's pretty cool.
It's hard not to like him as a person. Yeah,
I think
he's a very positive person.
With the streaming thing, Platboy Max, I think he's the best representation of hip hop media now.
Tell me who that is.
So he streams. He has this In the Booth series where he'll actually make records with the artist in real time. He's done it with up and coming artists. He's done it with famous artists. Like his platform is hip hop for real.
That's dope.
He's at number 4 and he just smokes the streaming shit, period. He's taking a little break, but I mean, to me, that's been the best merge of streamers versus real hip hop media before.
What's his name again?
Platboy Max.
Platboy Max.
Like he's actually making records on there.
Well, that to me sounds like something that's super deserving of being in the hip hop media conversation. But they're weird. Like Complex, you know, sometimes they'll throw people in who are like legacy, like whose names I'm not going to mention because the last thing I'm going to do is. Yeah,
save it. I'm already getting killed on the internet.
Yeah, like they'll mention
saying what I probably think you're going to say.
Yeah, I don't even know who's on it, but my guess is I've seen them throw legacy names on, and I'm like, why did they get the Why didn't I get the legacy? If you were just going to toss someone in, because they have not had a hip hop conversation in God knows how long.
Yeah,
you know, just do a little bit more work, man.
And you know, quickly, not to repeat what we talked about last time. More or less, I said if we're going to put legacy in the top 10. Then clear all of us out and put Angie, Sway, Big Boy. Like, if you're gonna put legacy, then just make it legacy.
Yeah,
just throwing a legacy in the mix in a top 10 situation.
Did that happen this time?
Yeah. It's just like, all right, well then put Angie there. Like,
if we're just gonna be putting people on the love.
Like, all right, it's just Sway, number 2 then. Like,
but yeah, this whole thing is the dumbest when you really do think about it. Like, this is literally, it's brilliant and dumb simultaneously. They get all of the people who are on the list to talk about the list.
And then all the people that are not on to talk about it as well. Yeah.
So it's amazing. Right. But like, we're ranking media personalities. Okay. We are the only space that does weird shit like this.
Yeah.
We rank rappers. We need rappers to fight with each other. We need to rank the media
but I mean,
people who talk about the rappers who fight with each other. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Like, don't do that. Complex used to do the 23 best Jordans.
No, that's true. Like, this is their brand. This is their brand.
Yeah. This is definitely.
But I mean, that's why we love hip hop in the battle space. And turns to us having arguments and ranking that you don't think is going to happen in podcasting. Like, it's just going to fold over into everything else that's attached to hip hop.
No, listen. And if I was on the list, I'd be fine with it. But I knew for a fact I wouldn't be.
So you just had Tyler the Creator. You just interviewed Tyler the other day.
How many people on the list had Tyler this year, though? Anyways, keep going.
Actually, I'll give you your flowers. Who has the most Tyler interviews in history?
Oh, definitely me. Has to be.
And what do you think the difference is? Like, because you probably have what, like 12?
No, I don't. Probably had him with. I've probably done it 3 or 4 times with Ebro, and then I probably had him, 3 to 5 times prior to that. The difference with what? With him?
So it's probably you and then Nardward at like 3
something
Tyler
like that.
Interviews, and then like everyone else maybe has.
Yeah, he does. He said he does like he stopped. He doesn't want to really do print very much, and he doesn't like being misquoted. And I think he doesn't love the idea that clips get cut out of context.
Yeah.
And he trusts us, and we have great conversations. So
yeah, I mean, I meant to say, even when I saw that he came on this week, it didn't shock me, but I was like, Tyler really fucks with Rosenberg, because he does not do this, and every album continues to come right to y'all. And let me not say y'all, you, because I remember back then when Ebro was like, this is weird, get this shit away from me. And then he showed up on like maybe the second or third one when it was UK Fox and Syph. He popped in because Odd Future was catching some noise. And I'm like, oh, now Ebro wants to show up.
Why are you here to remember the whole history?
But no, it's a compliment, because I can't think of another artist and interviewer that has had that type of relationship at the caliber of artist that Tyler is.
That's nice.
Like that's crazy that's not brought up more, that he continues to come back to your show every single time.
I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate them. It's Tyler and Clancy. And Clancy reached out when I was gone and said they wanted to come in, and I was like, I'm on paternity, and he was like, well, we need you to show up if and I was like, what kind of asshole would I be? Yeah. I don't have a lot of the people. He's like a guy who's entering legend status.
Yeah,
saying, please, we need to have a conversation. Absolutely. So it's super flattering. And honestly, like, they are literally among the only people who, no matter what has happened at every turn, hey, we're coming to town. Do you want to go to the show? Blah, blah, blah. Like, and Rory knows me very well because he listens to my shit. He's heard my complaints over all my years. Like, I am beyond a sensitive type. And so that it goes a long way for me that, like, they remember, and I asked Tyler in the interview, do you remember our first interview? All he remembered was that it wasn't in the radio station. It was in a hotel lobby.
Which is crazy.
But like, I saw them, on the internet when people started seeing it. But I remember the first time I saw the first Odd Future video I remember it having under 50,000 views. And then I remember like it very quickly having like 500,000, 1 million. And I hit it very, very quick. And then 6 months later, whatever it was, they had that show in the city.
It was at Highline or Santos?
I think it was at Highline.
Highline.
And when
I went with Benner. And I went, money.
And that was the one
they were terrified.
And everybody was there. Like they went from like nothing to like Paul Rosenberg was there.
Yeah.
Someone from Bad Boys, everyone from this is the time when that was still happening. And
they were all petrified.
Yeah. Everyone was like, because everyone kind of bought the Odd Future gimmick. Like it felt like, oh my God, these guys are like dangerous. Yeah. And that's what made it so fucking cool. Yeah. Is that like these dorky kids, sort of suburbanite LA kids, like really created something that hit so solidly. But yeah, I was into it from day one. They did my birthday mad times. Like, imagine what I paid Tyler versus what he's getting for a show today. Bruh.
Yeah.
And at one of my birthday, I was looking at a picture from my birthday party. Tyler performed.
That was the one that we shot, right? At Best Buy, Sony, whatever PlayStation, whatever the shit is called now.
Yeah. Well, I had two with them at PlayStation, I think. Yeah. But then it was Best Buy, yeah. Tyler was on the bill. SZA was there. Frank Ocean was there. Like, it was literally the who's who of was about to become like it in music. And it's crazy. I was watching the video and I saw the age of the kids in the crowd. Who, don't get me wrong, I was already much older than then. Yeah. Like I was in my early 30s then, and they all felt like kids. And it's just funny now to be 13 years older. Yeah. And so the distance feels that much bigger between me and kids today. Although the weird thing about Tyler is he still continues to get these high school kids. Yeah. Like he gets older. Like Tyler, I think Mac Miller is similar. Yeah. Time goes on, teenagers still right there. Yeah. It's like they become coming of age music. Yeah. Where now, like, once you discover you love music, yeah, you're going to find Mac Miller. You're going to find swimming.
Cole is great at that too.
J. Cole too. They keep continuing to get, and it's like, and I think, now Kendrick seems to be in a younger space than ever too, because he's now done this the popular thing as well. But yeah, but Tyler in particular, like in terms of popular with the kids, yeah, it's very cool. No, I'm grateful that they still want to talk.
No, I mean, here's the dig portion of it, of the flowers. Tyler's usually so innovative. It's crazy that he keeps coming to you. Which speaks to how good of a human being you are, because he continues. No, I'm serious. you know Tyler would want to find some new way to do interviews or whatever, but still comes to radio and to you.
But isn't that innovative though?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that innovative?
I mean, yeah, everything comes back. Vinyls are back.
Yes.
Everything's
Yeah. Go into radio.
I mean, shit. Clipse, they call it an old school rollout, I guess. Yeah.
And by the way,
everything comes back.
We missed the Clipse. Like, so we were all off when the Clipse, we were part of that as well, but missed it. But
so did we.
Yeah. But though we had
a scheduling conflict.
I don't know what the inside joke is here. Was it that they didn't call or
all
that?
All of our fans have been continuing. This is the first time we've even acknowledged it. All our fans keep asking why the Clipse didn't come here. And I don't know, we didn't.
It just didn't happen.
Yeah. I talked to Push on DM, like, it just didn't happen.
By the way, I got to tell you, I'm really happy they didn't do your show also. It's nice to meet one other person in media who they didn't do. Yo, this is like the collective of the people who didn't talk to Clipse on the rollout.
They felt like they talked to everybody though.
Yeah.
They were on a rollout for real. Yeah.
And it's
Which I wasn't offended by though.
No. Like, I'm never offended when people.
No, I wasn't offended at all because I love them and I've been in contact with them. I wasn't offended.
Yeah,
I did feel left out.
Push before and
I felt left out. There's a difference between feeling left out and being offended.
Well,
I've been both.
That absolutely, I have too. But there's also the thing because in watching a lot of their interviews on their rollout, I'm like, damn, but it's shit that I would have asked.
I know.
That some people didn't ask, or maybe they were told that they shouldn't ask. But you just always feel like there's a conversation that you could have specific with an artist like a Tyler. That if you see Tyler somewhere else, you're like, he's not going to have the conversation that he would have with Rosenberg. He's not going to do that. So it's the same with me sometimes. I see.
Of course. Yeah. And by the way, there also aren't that many people left that and I think you guys and I probably aren't that far off in this way, where like we really would want to talk to them and have a lot to talk about.
So much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there aren't that, like the Clipse are probably as popular and hit all the touch points that we'd be interested in. Yeah. There aren't that many of them that are going to go do it too. You know what I mean? But like, I really do think it's innovative that Tyler does our show as media. And like,
I see that point.
It is, like Drake's thing has always been embrace who the next media person's going to be and go be there.
Yeah.
Tyler has gone complete opposite of like, I don't do it often. And when I do it, I do it with people that I trust.
Yeah.
And by the way, it doesn't matter because your fans are coming to find it either way.
Either way, yeah.
Like the Breakfast Club has a clearly a bigger YouTube presence than we do now. Whoever gets Tyler, it doesn't matter which platform, his people are going to find it.
For sure, yeah.
So you might as well go a place where like you're going to feel comfortable, have a good time.
Like why he's done 3 or 4 Nardwards. Like his fans are going to learn more about him in a Nardward interview than they would if he sat with Kai.
Right.
More or less. And not a slight to Kai, but
No, but of course, like that, it makes perfect sense. And like he feels at home there. Like Tyler showed up dumb early, got there before me, was there dumb early and stayed dumb late. Like he feels
He seems like that type of person though. Like he still has that in him where you'll see him in the most random of places and he'll just be chilling for a few hours and you're like, Tyler, you have nothing to do. Like you just here, just kicking it with us. Like, okay, bet.
Yeah, I can't, it's so funny. I can't even gauge like how Tyler's perceived because I've like watched it so closely from the beginning. It's like hard for me to even fully
grasp
see.
it,
Yeah, like that I know he
like
is.
he's a superstar. He'll go outside and cause pandemonium for sure.
Yeah, I was outside with him for a minute the other day and saw quickly. I'm like, oh, wow. And he doesn't even look like himself.
Right.
Honestly, his look right now with the fucking mustache and trucker hat, he doesn't even look like Tyler, the Creator. I drove by him at first. I was like, and yet, he gets stopped by everybody. Like he really is like that.
What did you think about the album though? Because we spoke about it. I heard
you not like it. That was the first thing I heard about the album. Was that Maul didn't like it?
Really?
That was the first thing I saw about it.
From the West Coast.
Which was a good setup for me, actually, because I did like it. I need to spend more time with it. It doesn't feel like it's going to be chromacopia to me or something that I'm going to sit around with all the time. It feels like a moment in time, a vibe, a feeling, and like it's going to have like a few hammers that last.
Yeah.
I think Ring 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 is awesome. Like it's going to have a couple of records that really play.
I would like Ring 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 if we didn't have no kid.
Why can't they both occupy?
Yeah, I just feel like
they're not as close as I feel. People
I don't think are they close? People think they're that close.
I only like really caught was when I saw Twitter comparing them so much. I was like, I didn't
because I like
really
Ring
get that
Ring
vibe,
Ring.
but okay.
I like it. I feel like I would like it more if I didn't hear no kid this year, a couple of months ago. You understand what I'm saying?
What is it that people think is so similar about it?
I couldn't figure it out. I just saw the vibe
and the energy is kind of similar.
No, I understand that Nokia phones ring.
Yeah, but
and we don't even fuck with those. We only fuck with Boost. I don't really see the comparison between them at all. But
I'm not comparing them, but I'm just saying I just feel like because I've heard Nokia, we've got that vibe. I feel like if we didn't have that and I heard ring, 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 I would like ring, ring, ring way more.
But as opposed to like songs that have, even though it's not sampled, like I've had the original record and the sampled record, and I like both of them.
Not only that, if you really think about it from like a DJ standpoint, like back in the day, it's cool when you have records that kind of are like each other. They play them together. Like
you can play them in a set. Yeah,
you know, it's every Neptune's record for 2 years straight.
Yeah,
right.
That were basically felt like they could have been the same beat.
Right.
Back.
Yeah,
right. But other than that, I just didn't. It didn't connect to me.
No, listen, I understood what you were saying. Like, even though I didn't feel the same way, I got it. Like, it's a specific thing. He said his sweet spot's like 123 BPM. Yeah. I don't listen to a lot of stuff at 123 BPM that often.
My life is way much slower than that.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I just love, to me, when you start getting into that status of like, you have 7, 8 albums, whatever it is, at a certain point, it's about, did you add a couple of songs to your concert list?
Oh yeah. You're just creating the live show.
You're adding, at that point. So he added a couple more.
Yeah, I get that.
And I mean, I've lived with it. It's still probably at the bottom of his discography, in my opinion, but I like it when I'm not in traffic. I was going down the West Side Highway, and I was like, all right, you know what? I really do like this shit. Why did Maul try to talk me out of it?
And then it slowed down.
And then I got to, you know, that like right by Chelsea Pier, where usually traffic start. Once I said, I was like, turn this shit off.
Yeah.
It's too fast.
Like when I'm even cleaning the crib, I liked it. I have to be in the right setting for it, which is not a copying a plea on the album.
See, but I don't
like when people say, if you try to find excuses, I'm not finding an excuse. I like this album in an environment that is moving.
So this is what you guys do. See, this is the problem. This is the thing about you guys being actually popular. Okay. Everything you say is analyzed to the point that when you give a critique on an album, if it's kind of like mushy middle, you getting called out for it.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Especially if it came out Thursday and we record Friday.
They think I hate Tyler. Like they think I hate him. And I'm like,
because you were just like, it's not
I didn't like this last album. Like it's the craziest idea that somebody can't like a Jordans. I have plenty of Jordans. It's some that I would never even look at.
Right.
I fucking hate them. Doesn't mean it's not probably the most greatest, most iconic sneaker of all time.
And that you don't have tons of them. But this is the problem. This is what makes it what you guys do challenging. Where like people really are weighing it, like because that's not what music is. A Thursday to Friday, I don't even. Come on, bro. Like I need more time with that to even give a possible review.
For sure.
It is so rare that I truly know after a day where I sit on an album. Yeah. I've changed on, and I don't know if you heard on the podcast when I did my breakdown of the clips at the listening, but I'm like, I can't give you a full review of the listening.
But what do you think about it now, though?
They were 4 feet in front of me, rapping along to every word.
Oh yeah, like that is weird.
That's not a fair way to judge an album.
Yeah, you can't.
That's like literally the artists are looking at you, lip syncing it to your face,
performing. They're performing for you.
They're two of the greatest of all time, and I'm like, I'm not affected by that. Of course, I'm affected.
I don't know the song.
There's only been one time I was correct leaving an album listening was Good Kid, Mad City. And we were in Chungking Studios in the engineer's studio. That's how intimate it was. And it was Kendrick rapping the album to Pusha T. I left and said, this is the greatest album I've ever heard in my fucking life. And then only time I've been right.
And you were like, this is actually pretty close. It
ended up being that. Yeah. There's been so many listening sessions I walked out of like, nah, he got one.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then they come out, you like,
what was I listening to? It was like, he was rapping it to my face. That's why.
Yes, and some of the songs, some of the production, they play so loud.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. But then when you just hear it in regular life, you're like, this beat is a dud.
Yeah, it's not hitting the same,
I think the album's great. Yeah. I think the Clipse album is best album this year. I'd have to go back and decide how far back we want to go. Mm-hmm. But I've been seeing that some people have cooled on it a bit, like, we got so hyped, or I saw someone say the other day, this Freddie Gibbs Alchemist, this is what people thought the Clipse album was. People just got gassed on it because the rollout was so big. Yeah. The album's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
It's among their best work. They've clearly developed.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, as much as we like to joke about the Coke bars, it is true that at a certain point, that can't be all like you do. You do have to truly evolve. And not that they didn't always have other stuff in there, but they've mastered the other stuff.
Yeah.
Like the first record on the album is one of the most touching songs I've ever heard anyone
I
make.
just hate that they started that.
I
album
love
like
that they started with that.
That emotion is so heavy.
Right.
To then take me into Chains and Whips. I'm still crying. I'm still wiping my face, and Chains and Whips comes on. Like I just can't. That emotion switch to me is just too drastic. Is all. But I love the record though, and I think that was great.
You're supposed to feel that way after a repass. All right, man, we grieved. It's time to move the fuck on in life. Come on, be a man. Be a man.
I guess, but that's just
Dry
a
your
weird
eyes,
way to
it's
start
over,
an
let's
album
go.
for me. Like,
You see it being like a 7, 8, 9.
if it's 14 tracks, give me that at number 12.
I feel you. By the way, see, this is the point. We were just talking about like who does hip hop podcast. We're talking about track listing.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we do this every episode.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not talking about track listing, are you a hip hop podcast?
Yeah.
What do you even fucking do?
You're not even a hip hop podcast.
You don't even, if you haven't gotten
you don't know the
If you
track
don't
list.
overuse the word sequence, I don't want to talk to you.
If you don't want to have a sequencing conversation, it's not,
what are you talking about? What are you even talking
because
about?
we could really get into a conversation about how many people are actually doing the true music conversation. You guys have real music conversation, which I respect the hell out of.
I just feel like if you put that at the outro, like you just leave the album.
Not outro.
Oh, in the middle though, I wouldn't know where you would put it.
11, 12 right there.
Don't make me sad in the middle of it. When I say get this out the way, I don't mean it in a bad way. I think that song should win a Grammy. But yeah, let's start this way.
And I hated
two brothers talking about their parents passing, and then let's get to the shit.
I hated that Stove God didn't have a verse on that record.
But the
hook is amazing.
But the hook is basically a verse. It's so close to a verse.
Because I know what he can do with that much space.
Yeah, but can I tell you the truth? So you and I are clearly part of the Stove God contingency.
Absolutely.
I'm a huge fan as well. The verse would have been amazing, and I had the same thought. But for a lot of people, and let's be honest, most people came to that album, don't know who Stove God is, right? Mm-hmm. I think they came away more familiar with him because he's the hook. Mm-hmm. One verse, it's cool because he can stunt on you.
Yeah.
But the hook is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like they probably come away feeling more connected to Stove God because he did the hook.
Yeah. And when we were talking, when I'd said that I felt like Stove off the last 3 West Side projects has turned into like the Griselda Nate Dogg. Mm-hmm. Like his hooks on all of West's projects, like those are the standouts.
Yeah.
Like his melodic shit is crazy, but I'm still with you. He needed a fucking
He's the one guy.
But politics also, you don't know his situation.
No, I get it. I get it, but he's one of the guys that I'm waiting to sit and talk to. I got a lot of questions.
Why? Were you just fascinated with him as an MC?
Oh no, I mean that's the easy part. But there's a lot of things around him as an artist that I know and that I look at, and I'm just like, yo, what's going on, man?
He's had an interesting journey to getting here too.
That the journey is like, fam, what's up?
Well, yeah, I think the first time I ever heard Stove God, Busta sent me the link. To Stove God's
That makes
project.
sense. Yeah, because he was with Rock and everybody.
That was the first time that I heard him. Mm-hmm. He sent me like Stove God and Preya at the same time.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Because Reasonable Drought was...
Yeah, it was Reasonable Drought.
2020. Yeah.
That came out, I think a week after we went on lockdown. Like the 26th or something, 27th?
Yeah. And
we went on lockdown the 15th, March 15th, something like that.
No, he's fascinating. He's dope.
No, I love him. I just his journey has been incredible. But there's a lot of things, and I want to know about the dynamic between everybody.
By the way,
Stove to me is the one out of that entire. I don't want to call it the Griselda scene because it's more than just that. He's the one that I think can actually break out and be a superstar. I know it sounds insane.
Oh, for sure.
But
but stylistically that makes sense.
I really think he would push the boundaries of that genre and be the first superstar.
I think. Superstar. That's a tough word. Superstar is that's a lofty. Where do we start the line at superstar?
Well, don't get me started because I actually contradicted myself. Because I don't think Chris Rock is a superstar, but
yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, so
is that not some of the craziest shit you've ever heard?
It was a tough moment for me. No, it was a tough moment. But
and he was like standing on it.
I still stand on it.
Well, hold on. There was part of it I understood.
What part did you understand?
Didn't he say something like, if you saw him, you wouldn't be like, oh my God! Like what was the crux?
Well, there was a couple different points, but one of them being that like the pandemonium, and we saw him and added him to one of our tour videos because he just happened to be standing right outside there.
He carries himself in an unsuperstar like way. Mm-hmm. I will say that. Mm-hmm. Like Chappelle, superstar gives when he shows up. It's like. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like you can see the hubbub around when Chappelle walks into a place. Yeah. I don't think Chris does that, but he's still a super. Like I still think Chris Rock is a super
comedy. Yes, he is
in comedy.
I think Chris Rock.
They were trying to tell me he was an A-lister in the world. Comedy. Are you about to tell me no? Chris Rock is a superstar in comedy.
Okay.
He's the status quo. Like he's
A-list for sure.
I'm saying.
But when you say the world,
all right, put Tom Cruise and Chris Rock. They're in the same sentence.
No.
What's wrong with being a B-lister?
Okay, but here's
that was what it came down to. Using the word B. But B-list has a feeling connoted with it. B-list, he's never...
You can't host the fucking Oscars and be B-list.
Yeah, I think B-list is tough.
Okay, so...
That's
okay.
Tough.
So because Shane Gillis hosted the ESPYs, he's in the same sentence as LeBron James.
ESPYs is not the Oscars.
No, the ESPYs... I love ESPN. Have I told you guys I love ESPN?
Yes,
great
absolutely.
Company. Great company.
Yeah.
ESPYs ain't the Oscars.
No,
and
not
great
even
move
close.
with Shane though. That was fucking hilarious.
Why I've had just a lot of mixed feelings about Shane. I talked about that. I think it wasn't hilarious. It had good moments.
Okay,
it had good moments.
I thought the awkwardness in the bombs made it even funnier.
So sometimes I agree. What annoyed me was you can't tell me someone killed. Don't say they killed if there's not great laughter in the room. That's not killing.
Okay.
It might be innovative and interesting and brilliant and it went over their heads.
Yeah.
You can't say they killed when I hear like a glass drop in the background.
Even if it's awkward, it's like...
Even if it was intentionally awkward, he was paying homage to Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
That's great. But like at the time, just because other comedians all like love what Norm did, that doesn't mean he killed at the time.
Right,
Okay.
right.
God bless the dead.
Right, absolutely.
It's interesting, but it's not killing.
Yeah.
Superstar A-list killed. Yes, I would not say Shane Gillis killed. I would definitely
You thought
not
it was
say
very
that.
funny.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. But no, he did not kill.
My problem.
His kill is everything he did plus everyone falling out of their seats laughing.
So exactly. So Shane Gillis to me is super talented, and I see why people really like him. Okay, like I do like he has moments that I think are really funny. His SNL hosting, the sketches he's in, like Shane Gillis is good. Furthermore, because this is going to be relevant with what I say afterwards. I think he seems like a good dude, right? I don't think there's some air that I don't like about him.
Yeah.
However, I do think he is among the comedians who a lot of their shit that they're doing right now is the funny comes second after watch me push this boundary.
Okay.
And
I don't think that at all about Shane. I think the comedians he hangs out with, yes, but I don't think that's Shane at all.
that was that night, bro. That was
What
at
was
the ESPYs.
pushing the boundaries?
Oh my, there was a bunch. Are you going to tell me that saying that Karl Anthony Towns is here, hey girl, is like a great joke? Like
I laughed.
Well, you did, because you're a shit talker. I'm not saying like if someone said it on the corner, we'd laugh at it. It's not Richard Pryor.
No, it's not Pryor. I get that.
Okay, but also it's the ESPYs where no, I didn't want him to give me a full fucking 1 hour special type of bit. Like the point of hosting a show is quick
hits,
quick punchlines of who's in the crowd. I didn't need him to give me a Richard Pryor fucking cooking freebase cocaine type.
No. Fair enough, right? I want everyone to bear in mind this involves complex thought and nuance. So this isn't very internet.
Yeah.
Again, I think he's a good dude. I don't think his intention is bad, but I think a lot of the like, oh my God, I'm a white guy and I'm going to say this joke about black people. While we might think it's funny and laugh because it's a good joke and we appreciate it, that you cannot deny a certain part. He knows it's appealing to a certain crowd that is giddy to see a white man make jokes about black people in 2025. That edge, we're fighting back against the wokeness. It's baked in there and he knows it's working. I'm not saying it makes it all not funny. I'm not saying I'm offended by it.
Right.
I'm just saying I see it. And I see everyone doing it. They're like, oh my God, look, can you believe I'm willing to say? Now listen, compared to the other ones out there, the Hinchcliffes, the Schultzes, the Blup, he's way more talented, way funnier, and I think could probably have an entire career where he doesn't do it at all. But he is doing it. And it's winning for him.
But I think that's authentic to Shane, whereas like maybe a Ari Shaffir will sit and think like, what can I do that would offend a person at this exact time of who should be attacked that is being protected right now.
It is more sincere.
I really think Shane is just a big white guy from Pennsylvania, and this is exactly how he thinks, and I think he balances it perfectly. I don't think he picks a specific group. I think he goes at everybody and does it in a pretty tasteful way. Even when he calls somebody gay, like, it's funny. But it has some tasteful, and there's a background behind it, more or less.
I guess my feeling is, and again, I know when people hear this, they're just going to call me a fucking snowflake, and I can't take a joke. I don't think anything's funny. Mm-hmm. All bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's a false narrative that the only way to be edgy is to be white and make jokes about minority groups. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
I agree with that.
Like,
I
you want to
don't
see
think
edgy?
Shane is that.
Go watch Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes 5 years ago. We can talk about edgy
that
afterwards.
was crazy.
Yeah, that was
But no one gets bent out of shape about that, right? Because he wasn't a white guy with the audacity to make jokes about black people or gay people. Mm-hmm. They might be in there, but that wasn't what it was aimed at.
Right.
His real aim was knocking people in Hollywood down a peg and talking about the fucking Epstein and Weinstein shit. Yeah. So like, no one talks about that because that doesn't get white middle America going.
I mean, off the, Shane made a Epstein joke in the ESPY.
He did. It was very, and that was a funny one that got crickets. And now listen, part of that is, let's be honest, guys, athletes don't all have the best sense of humor. Yeah. They don't. I mean, I'm sorry. It's a tough one.
I agree with you.
Athletes very rarely know more than anything outside of their sports.
So like when it starts to get kooky, they don't even know where to go.
Like, not until they start to retire do they get into other things, other areas. But when they're young and entrenched in their sport, they don't know
everybody
about
is Gilbert Arenas.
No.
That's why I got into wrestling, frankly, because I found athletes to be often boring to interview. Mm-hmm. And then wrestlers are amazing because they're athletic, but they're also actors.
And they're also crazy.
They're crazy. They want to perform. Yeah. They have a lot more to give you than just like, wrestlers, I'm really good at ball.
Wrestlers have to be athletic and entertaining.
Yeah.
Athletes.
You could be the most
boring as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Kawhi Leonard comes sit right here for 2 hours and not say anything. And he still can go out and be the best in the world.
Absolutely.
You can't do that if you're a wrestler.
No.
Novice question. How do wrestling scripts like come about? How do they decide like who is going to be the champ?
Well, it's funny you asked that because they literally just dropped a show 2 days ago called Unreal, where they're peeling back the curtain for the first, like truly peeling it back for the first time. I mean, it's a process. It's a writing team. I mean, it starts with Triple H essentially as the chief of content, the chief content officer. But then after that, it's a writing team and then producers and the wrestlers, and it's a long process.
Is it like Hollywood where like, all right, somebody may be talented, they get one shot, and if they do really well at that, all right, let's put them in more movies.
For sure.
Is it like that? Okay.
Yes.
Because I wasn't sure if they just pick somebody like, all right, this is going to be our guy.
More often than not, something organically happens first. They have a moment like that in the show that just aired where they go up to Jey Uso. Triple H goes to Jey Uso and is like, hey, you're catching fire right now. And Jey Uso's like, and he's like, this is right before the Royal Rumble, which for people who don't know, the Royal Rumble is big battle royal with everybody in it. Whoever wins gets a match at WrestleMania for the title. Mm-hmm. The week of the Royal Rumble, Triple H goes to Jey Uso and is like, we're about to put the rocket on your back. And Jey Uso's like, all right. And he's like, everything you've ever wanted. He doesn't say what it is. Yeah. He just says everything you ever wanted. Are you ready? You can't, if I put the rocket on your back, you cannot fumble the ball. It's time. And Jey Uso's just like, I got you. They dap and walk away. He never says you're winning the Royal Rumble. Yeah. He never says you're going on to win the title. Right. But it's clear that moment is like, are you ready for it?
That's how YouTube conspiracy theorists think the Illuminati conversation goes. like, are you ready?
Are you ready for this? Yeah.
Are you ready? This
Uncle Slow-Mo.
Sacrifice someone from your family.
Deciding on what happens in the music industry.
So into wrestling, we lost the iconic Hulk Hogan this past week. And, naturally people went online and brought up the whole Hulk Hogan's a racist and the things he said in regards to who he would want his daughter to date. What is your position on that thought that Hulk Hogan is a racist?
Should white women date black men?
No. But here's why I ask you, because I saw an interesting clip of Booker T.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him if he felt like Hulk Hogan.
Washington?
Booker T, the wrestler.
Okay.
And somebody asked him if he felt like Hulk Hogan was a racist. And if people don't know, Booker T, he's probably in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Legendary wrestler, 60-year-old black man from Louisiana.
And by the way, my dude.
It's just fair to say he may have experienced racism at some point in his life.
I guess.
So if somebody's talking to Booker T about Hulk Hogan and do they think he's a racist, I'm going to listen because This is Booker T,
who worked with him,
spent personal time around him for years, and the story that he gave about Hulk Hogan, and he was like, you know, he may have used the word around me one time, but he said Hogan used it because they were using it with each other. And he looked at each other like it wasn't a color thing. They were all brothers. And he said, Hogan, I think Macho Man asked him, Hogan, do you think you're, or do you think something like that? They were at the cafeteria or whatever eating. And he was like, well, if I am, I'm a cool like that. Like, it was like the word didn't even mean anything because he knows the man. The priest has said things that Hogan did for him on a personal level, how he was with his family and things like the man that Hulk Hogan was. He said, absolutely, I don't think Hulk Hogan was a racist.
Was that was this week after he passed?
This was after, I heard it after he passed.
Okay.
And he was I think he was speaking as if Hogan had passed. Okay. So this was a recent interview. So I just thought that was an interesting perspective because, again, here's somebody who knows this man, who knew the Hulk Hogan, the man, not the icon and the wrestler, knew him behind the scenes, away from the cameras. To me, that's what really speaks to a person's class, personality, things like that. Like, okay, if I hear a clip of you saying, I don't want my daughter dating no, if she does, you got to be 8 foot tall, $100 million, whatever the fuck he said.
When he wasn't in the cafeteria with the fellas.
Right.
No, he was not.
But what I'm saying is away from that, again, here's Booker T, black man from Louisiana, spent way more personal time around Hogan, who has his perspective like, no, I don't think Hulk Hogan was a racist.
So it's a super interesting subject. Again, not one that lends itself to short clips on the internet. Mm-hmm. I think that the Hogan tape was about as bad a tape as I've ever heard released of anyone. Mm-hmm. Not the sex tape.
Sex tape was worse.
That was the really offensive part. Yeah. My man, anyways, I got in trouble.
Everyone's going through a tough time.
Yeah. But the things that are said on it, certainly hurt me. Mm-hmm. And I'm just a white guy who is offended by racism, right? Mm-hmm. I'm obviously not a black person. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of black friends who love wrestling who, like, I can tell you right now, it really hurt them. Like, in a long term, fucked up their childhood. I have so many positive thoughts about this person. Mm-hmm. The words were so hurtful. Mm-hmm. And I think all of us who were hurt by it collectively wanted that moment when he really took like this clean ownership of it. Yeah. Because he had moments where he apologized. Just to be clear, he did. Mm-hmm. He did. But it always was kind of this air of like, I messed up. That's not me, brother. I swear. Yeah. It wasn't the clear, I hurt people. Mm-hmm. What I said was unacceptable. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and show how much I feel bad by X amount of work in the community.
By giving out turkeys on Thanksgiving.
I'm talking about literally, I'm going to give literal money, time. I'm going to go with Young Jeezy and give out turkeys in Atlanta. Whatever the thing is, though, we could laugh about it, but like, you got to do the things.
Whatever it is. Yes.
And by the way, to me, the main thing was, and I used the word on my show last week, eat shit. But when I say eat shit, what I mean is that interview couldn't come looking at a white woman on Good Morning America like he did it. Right. He had to go on a black platform and look a black person in the eyes and have that conversation. In my opinion, that to me would have really went a long way of having that tough conversation with a person who was hurt by it. And that never happened.
The way Furman and Oprah did.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going to go.
The exact way. That's it.
I was thinking about.
That went great.
I was thinking about Mark Furman and Oprah.
Because that's the craziest interview I've ever seen in my fucking life.
I don't even remember that.
YouTube that tonight. That's the craziest interview of all time.
Really?
Yes. Oprah's like, I was really offended. And he's like, why would anyone think I'm racist?
Yo. So precisely. I think because those things didn't happen, a lot of people are still very hurt by that. Mm-hmm. And I really think everyone has the right to be as hurt by something as there.
I just thought that Booker T perspective was...
But here's my question. Is it consequential? My dad used to always say to me, I always admired Howard Stern's radio acumen, obviously, like a lot of the bits that he did were offensive and not for me. But I learned a lot of what I do in terms of being transparent, always being honest on the air. If it's funny, you say it. If it's good, learned a lot from him. My dad never fucked with him for a variety of issues that he heard him talk about. My dad decides, he decides.
Yeah.
Didn't like him. And I remember being like, but Dad, I've heard that he's a really good guy. And my dad was like, it doesn't matter. It only matters what you put into the world. You being a good guy when you're private at home is kind of inconsequential. What are you putting out to the world?
Right.
And so, unfortunately, I think that what Hogan ended up putting out to the world was so bad in that moment and never quite atoned for in a way that satisfied people that...
I mean, to be fair, he didn't put that out.
No, but he sued Gawker.
It also wasn't being a good guy in his home at the time either.
It didn't seem like, although I don't know what the hell the situation was. That feels like the whole thing was weird. I don't think that was as simple as it sounds.
Yeah, no.
There was some...
Yes,
something going on.
There was some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, either way, that was said behind closed doors about somebody's daughter was trying to date. Like, that's as home as it gets.
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm sad. I really don't like to define people by their worst moment or their best moment. Hogan is to me, he's a complicated figure. He's a major reason that it's such a big part of my life.
If you grew up in the 80s, he is the reason you watched wrestling.
There's you were so, as a kid, there was something, I saw some bad takes this week moving around, by the way. I saw some people just like there's so many takes you can have about Hogan that are interesting, like talking about the race stuff, and even asking the question you asked, because obviously Booker has the right to feel the way he feels. I know black wrestlers who certainly do not feel that way. Right. So it totally depends. Everyone has their own right in a moment like this. But some people just have lazy takes about him. Like at the very least, it's worth looking at. I heard some people say he's the most American thing. And I think that's a really interesting way to put it. He had all the potential in the world. He made a ton of money. He stepped on people on his way. He didn't take ownership of the shit that he did wrong.
That's American.
He then pretended like it was all good. Let me sell this beer. It's all super American.
He's the Dallas Cowboys.
He's the Dallas Cowboys. Like it's all of what we are. It's all
He does represent America and its faults and its positivity.
Right. It makes you feel good and at the same time cringe. Like it's all there. But
But a legend nonetheless.
And I personally separate him a bit. Like, guys, listen. Kanye West is an avowed Nazi at this point.
Didn't he take it out of his rhymes last week?
Well, what about the Hail Hitler song? Is that still out?
You talk about old shit.
Come on, Peeje, get with the times, man. That's old shit.
Literally 2 days ago. Wasn't he in North Korea or some shit?
And he changed the lyrics?
He moved to Japan, I believe, right? Is he in?
Oh, no wonder I heard Japan's about to start restricting their visitors.
It's because of Kanye.
He took out the Nazi line in Flashing Lights.
What was the
Flashing
I'm not going to say either of the words that are in that. But
I don't remember. But either way, I was going to say this though. Kanye West is basically a Nazi at this point. And if my man had a good apology tour and just didn't say shit bad for 6 months, I would be playing the shit in the crib again. We want to forgive. We want to forgive the people whose stuff that we love. I don't want to hate Kanye. Yeah. People think I get pleasure out of when I have to call his shit out. And you think I bought tickets to his concert.
Right.
I didn't most everybody I've seen for 15 years, I got comps for.
Right.
Kanye, I forked over money to go to concerts. I was a fan. I bought the sneakers.
He's the biggest artist in my life, period. I was from 1990. He is the biggest artist in my life.
In your personal life?
Yep.
Yeah. None of us want to be mad at that person.
Yeah.
When they asked me to go to fucking Wyoming, I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And my brain, I'm like, oh man, this sounds fucking cool. People can just hang out and listen to music, get to meet.
Fucking campfire with Chappelle.
Hang out with Kanye and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
But he'd already gotten on the weird shit. And I was like, I can't go. This guy just said the slavery was a choice bullshit. And this is before the Jew shit even started.
Right.
So I take no pleasure in that. And my point is, it's the same with Hogan. I just wished, even though Hogan, they're different, but I just wish it had been cleaned up. I wish when he passed, I didn't have like a feeling of mixed feelings. I wish I just felt sad.
But are you asking if someone just goes on a press run after and apologizes? Like the way Kramer went on.
So I'll tell you what, Kramer had a hell of an apology recently, though.
I'm saying his first one when Jerry Seinfeld, who was he on with Letterman? Was that Letterman? And Kramer zoomed in before Zoom was a thing. And he said, I offended some Afro-Americans. And we're like, Kramer, this is worse. Stop what you're doing.
Over Zoom.
I'm talking about a recent one.
No, this was right. No, this was right after that footage leaked at the Laugh Factory.
And you know what he ended up doing though? Kramer literally disappeared for the better part of 10 years.
And then did Curb.
And then did Curb. And then when he came back now, I saw an interview with him like a year ago. He put a book out or something. Mm-hmm. He literally now talks with like a whole different tone, and like everything he says is like.
He did ayahuasca. I think he did ayahuasca.
So I'm saying
he had a reset.
Kramer was not my example. I'm saying
it was a bad one.
He supposed to just Kanye, Hulk Hogan, if he was alive, just go on a press run and be like, I didn't mean it?
No.
Like, and then it's like, oh.
No.
You good?
No, I'm being a little tongue in cheek when I say that. I would want it to be like my point is though, even Kanye, where it was about, because by the way, people are always different about their own group versus everyone else. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to point out the Hogan shit hurt me.
Yeah.
The Kanye shit hurts me.
Yeah.
I would have forgiven Hogan. Mm-hmm. I would still forgive Kanye. Mm-hmm. That being said, it doesn't look like there's any chance he's ever going to get healthy enough to do that. Because to your point, no, it could not just be a rollout. He couldn't do a Clipse press run. Mm-hmm. And in the interview with Elliot and DJ Head, he says he's good, and then all of a sudden we're good. No,
yeah.
But if it was a real like over time, putting your money where your mouth is, really showing change, and you see that he's gotten healthy.
Yeah.
Because he's not well.
Most
the man is not
well.
well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I would be willing to, and I think if you're a Jewish fan of hip hop and you loved Kanye, you're really hoping deep down one day he finds his fucking mind and you don't have these feelings anymore because it sucks.
Yeah.
I just don't even know.
You know how many Yeezys have been wasted? Have you seen the price? Have you been on StockX and looked at Yeezys?
Yeah.
They're pretty cheap, right?
Oh my God. Yo, bro.
They're all sitting.
Just go to General Square in Jersey City. You could just walk into any of those random shoes. They're there.
Yeah.
But I guess my question there more was to the public. Like, how can someone really go on a apology press run at this point with how many people can talk on the internet? Because even if Kanye smoked that and was sincere, is it going to work for one half?
I think so.
If it was a life change, it would eventually...
You have to see it. It can't just be the interview. It has to be when you see him now away from the interview in life, how he's moving around.
He's just moving different.
You can just tell he's healthier.
It would take years. It would take several years, I'm sure.
And again,
but it could happen.
This is speaking from someone that watched Hunter Biden do a 2-hour podcast, and I was sitting there like,
and now you want him to become the Democratic
he just like cracking hoes. Why was I even mad at this guy?
Yeah.
Like
he became human to you.
like damn, is this working on me?
By the way, I didn't even watch the thing yet, and I was never mad at Hunter Biden. I mean,
I was never mad at Hunter Biden.
Right. but you're like, why was this an issue?
Yeah, I didn't even know.
The gun was a little weird.
Listen, man, Second Amendment.
Yeah, but I thought all the crack that he had was the weirdest part to me. Just all that crack.
What about the coke in the White House?
Yeah, no,
when he left the
that's
coke,
fine. That's fine.
But crack.
And then nobody in the White House could figure out where that came from. That was the most amazing part. We looked at the cameras. We don't know how this coke got into. Y'all know how that shit. The president's son brought it in there.
This is where I can't agree with you there. The amount of people that do cocaine at the White House, to think it was Hunter Biden.
That's a stretch?
It could have been his dad to stick his ass back up to do a speech.
It was a Bidens. It was one of the Bidens. It came in with a Biden.
You don't think every White House aide, no matter what party, no matter what year, there was somebody that does not do cocaine frequently during the day?
Oh, no, for sure.
Frequently, always in every White House, is there someone doing cocaine?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody's microdosing cocaine.
I guarantee at every hour of every day at the White House, since when did the shit open? Somebody was doing cocaine.
Every hour you're going with in the history of the White House.
Yes.
Someone's doing cocaine.
100%.
Yeah.
I
that's like one of the only things I'd stand on 100%. No matter what, you could literally kill me if this is false.
I'm pushing back on this.
I think for every time we hear a Kendrick record on Power, somebody's doing a line in the White House. I don't know, man. But the thing is, I haven't been around cocaine very much, so it's obviously more frequent than I'm aware of. I have not seen a lot of coke in my life, and I know it's getting done
because cokeheads are very sneaky.
I know. But like getting into the White House is just like a certain level that you have to be at to even get your clearance. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it happens, I'm sure. I think every hour is wrong. I think you are patently wrong.
Okay.
Every hour.
Crazy
I'm going with every hour
take.
somebody's doing a line.
Every hour in the White House.
Somebody in the White
I
House
was
is doing a line.
underselling it. I was going to go every 30 minutes. But
How many people do
I
you think work
guarantee you
in the White House?
all right.
Working? I think there's a lot of people that work in the White
Yeah,
House.
but how many are you thinking?
Over 100.
I mean,
Sure.
Yeah.
including Secret Service.
You think Secret Service is doing cocaine also?
I think they need to do it. It opens the
They're
third
probably
eye.
on the lesser side of it, but I think every like person on the staff in there, there's a high. I'd say about 150 to 60 people
Growing
work
up
there.
in Washington-
So that I would say at least 10 people out of that 160 are doing cocaine frequently during the entire day.
I think this is part of the disconnection that we have between how like people see Washington and how it actually is. Like me and Saif have had arguments about this. It is not as crazy. Now, right now, different conversation because the White House currently is not filled with people who actually are of that world. It is filled with probably lunatic cokeheads who were doing Fox News a year ago, doing coke, and now they're in the White House.
Oh, see,
but previously, these are generally lifetime Washington types. Like I know those types, and I don't mean to blow up everyone's stereotypes and fun conspiracy theories. Most of them are really nerdy and work really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And that is how they get there for the most part. Even in previous Republican administrations, I would say that. We are currently in the Wild Wild West. I don't know what is going on. But prior to that, I in my experience growing up in Washington, knowing mad people who worked in the White House and on the Hill, it is more boring than you're giving it credit.
Okay. You are, all right. I'm not making a Washington thing or a White House thing. The aides and the people that work in that, I'm not saying every senator is doing coke. I'm saying the people that work there. I worked in an advertising agency in Tribeca.
Way different.
I was literally the only person. I was very vanilla and numb to coke. Like I didn't know.
You know how much better
I didn't
paid
even
those
know. I was
people
like, wait, I didn't know this many people did cocaine.
Yeah, but you were in advertising. That's literally like people are having drinks at 11 a.m. too. Like that's a different situation.
And before that, I was at Def Jam when I was at a lower level. Then after advertising, pod took off a little bit, started getting into some mixes. I said, I didn't know everybody in the music business was doing coke too. I found all of this out as I was going. So to say that people have to work 24 hours out the day with some of the craziest human beings are not on cocaine at all times is insane to say. That'd be the place that would have the coke.
I hear you.
Our advertising company didn't need it.
Right. I just don't think that Washington is previously till now.
They were just having gay sex in what was that shit? That came and went.
What was that? What floor was that?
Wherever the Senate was.
Senate, yeah.
Who was having sex?
You don't remember that video came out? That was that during the
pounding out
pandemic?
some asshole.
And by the way, you don't have to call it gay sex. It was just sex.
Yeah, but gay people
No, it
were
was
having
gay.
it. It's like if a gay couple has dinner, we're going to a gay dinner.
It just crossed my mind. I'm not trying to be that guy. It only crossed my mind right now when Rory said it.
Yeah.
That like the term gay sex should be dead.
And then I stopped.
Like gay sex is actually an offensive term.
Then my liberal mind kicked in and I actually stopped. I was like, he's fucking right. Because if a man and woman was fucking in there, I would have said, yo, they was fucking in there.
Yeah, no.
So really people were fucking. But you had to specify they're gay. So you know it's bad.
Because gay sex is different. It's different.
And
It's different. It's actually
and
easier.
gays love coke.
Right, had to be.
Oh man, yo Pete, man, thank you for coming through, man.
This is how we're closing?
Yeah,
Hey, it's great to be a father.
absolutely.
Congrats. Yeah, we're supposed to have our whole wholesome father conversation.
2 dads.
He just did a trip.
My first, no. Listen, we should wrap it up on the gay sex, and the straight sex. No, I am a dad. It's a lot of fun. I fucking love it.
Yeah,
it's everything everybody said. Mo, you have kids too?
No, not yet.
So I thought, okay,
No kids.
You have enough nieces and nephews though to know.
It's a whole gang.
Have you traveled with them before?
Not all at one time. No, that would be very expensive and a big headache. So no.
Literally the worst thing.
I just realized that like when I was carrying around this amount of stuff, I'm just like, I realized that the difference between me and the successful and very rich people that I know is if you don't know the life of trying to maneuver your kid's stuff onto the plane, like if you do some shit with private jets.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, or you go to that clearance part of the airport where they like take your stuff and then they just drop you on the plane.
Yeah. No.
If you don't know that regular, you're just hoping your baby stops making noise on the plane.
You don't want to interrupt anybody.
Oh my God. Like, and then by the way, so like we're flying again in a few weeks. the amount of work that I'm doing to transfer points so I can upgrade us to business class. Because that business class international.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
I don't make $20 million a month on Patreon. You know what I mean? I'm out here living a regular life.
Neither does other people, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Some would say neither does anybody.
Yeah.
No, but
Some would say neither does anybody.
but if you're a regular person, even if you're doing well, actually, here's the point where I don't relate to you anymore. If you see that the upgrade to business says your ticket went from 1,200 to 6,000, and that doesn't make you go, well, business class was an interesting idea.
Right.
I don't relate to you anymore. Right. Because the idea that all of a sudden my trip's going to go from being, I spent $3,000 for us to fly to 15 grand for us to fly.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't know how rich I'd have to get where I wouldn't care.
Right.
I really don't know.
Right.
I hope I find out.
Right.
But yeah, the amount of finagling I'm doing on my next trip, transferring points over here. Let me get these because bro, the lap infant thing is great. You can bring your baby on the plane with you.
Right.
But then you're stuck sitting next to two people. It is, Rory. It's hard,
no, I've
bro.
been. Wait till you try to finesse that your daughter's passport is wrong and she's actually younger. I did that to Florida.
No, you didn't.
No, it's a lot.
How do you try to finesse that though? Don't they look at it, or you just hope they don't know?
Oh, no, I tried. It didn't work.
They saw it.
I'm my father's son. I try to find any scam in anything.
They looked like she's too old for this.
Because I did. It was the first. Amara had just because its lap is
up till two.
So she just turned 2. We went down to Florida, and I was like, I can get away with this. Brought her passport because we have Clear, and before they never asked for Amara's passport.
No, you just walk through.
You just walk through. So they stopped us and did Amara's thing. They're like,
wait, does she need to have Clear? She doesn't need Clear, does she?
No, but they asked for
they
asked for my ID, Kia's ID, everyone's ID. And they were like, she doesn't have a ticket. She's 2 years old. I was like, bitch.
And you have to go buy one right then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
That hurts you.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I wasn't mad. The chances of Clear doing that are so low that I really thought I could get away with this. The scam was kind of worth me trying.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like that crazy.
No,
in
the
fucking
free
Fort
ticket,
Myers, Florida, it wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. But no, it's the baby thing has been.
Wait till you're in a Mexico City airport for 11 hours with a hangover after your birthday, and then sit middle seat economy with your 1-year-old daughter. Then talk to me.
What do you do? What do the people do, by the way, once the kid? So let's say you do well in life and you do pay for business class. Cool. You finally dealt with it. You look around. You're like, I paid. Yeah, it's damn $3,000 for me and my wife to fly first class. But I do. Now you got to buy another one once the baby's 2 years and 2 days. And you know, nothing gets me madder in the world than when, like, if I'm stuck in coach and I walk past, like, I went for an upgrade. They didn't have it. It's too expensive. Like I said, you have that flight where it's like 5,000. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm going to have to do, I'll get the best coach seat I can get.
Right.
That's all I can do.
Right.
And you're walking through first class and there's like a 6-year-old in their own first class seat.
Oh, yeah. Disgusting.
And I'm like, guys, I swear to God, I didn't touch first class. I swear to God, I might have already touched 40 before I got in a first class seat.
Yeah.
Never.
Until this podcast, I never touched first class.
Never. And it's part of your life. You're like, I don't know. My parents would first class.
Right.
If my parents don't do Southwest, they splurge. Okay.
We drove to Florida.
Yeah, bro. So like that whole thing. And then when you see a little kid who's flopping around in the seat looking like a baby Chris Farley, I'm like, look at this kid. He doesn't know.
He doesn't even know. Yeah.
But so I used to think that all the time too. And then in the beginning, when I didn't have to have Amara as a second seat, I was like, I'm doing the same thing though. Why is my toddler in first class? Now that she's 2, she's never getting a fucking first class seat.
No. That's it.
That's why to Florida, we were flying economy.
That's you have to. No, or here's what you have to do. Isn't there a situation what you could do is you get 2 first class seats, 1 coach seat.
I like that strategy.
You and your daughter sit in first class when the flight takes off.
Because I'm the man and
you're the man and you're more important.
Yeah, way more important.
You did everything.
Yeah.
And then once you're up in the air, I feel like your wife can just come and sit with you and put your daughter on her lap unless it's a moment where they say to buckle up.
Yeah.
And then you can basically all hang out in first class.
Yeah.
And then when it's time to land.
Yeah. We go back to our seats. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
get it.
you can hear musings like this on the Juan Ep podcast. Juan Ep is life, wherever you find podcasts.
Shouts out to Juan Ep, Cypher Sounds. Pete, thank you for coming through, man. I feel like this conversation was long overdue. I'm glad we got to finally have it.
It was
though,
definitely
man.
long.
Yeah, definitely long and overdue.
No, I really appreciate it. Proud of you guys. Y'all are doing your thing.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
I'm going to
that,
shame
man.
you into
Thank
coming to this Little Brother show this week.
Yeah, I really should go. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I thank you guys for being some of the very few people who I don't hate on when I see you on the internet. I just enjoy your stuff.
Yes,
So
man. It's all love,
positive.
man. All love. I'm that nigga. He's just ginger. That's Peter Rosenberg.